Go.
Good morning. This Mikey Zana of Menorcan Magic handmade cast nets. I thought I would do this little quick video for you to try to explain some things that I've been getting some calls and emails about, and it's reference to the sinkers, sinker molds. Where can you get a sinker mold? Where can you get the sinkers that go on the nets? And that's a hard question to answer because you can forget finding a sinker mold. That you can just forget. I want to show you a couple of sinker molds right quick so you'll know what a sinker mold is. The first one I'm going to show you, this mold here is probably 80, 90 years old. It's made out of brass. It goes way back to my Menorcan ancestors. It was used back in the 30s or 40s, I would say. You can see the cavity. I don't know, can you get a close up of that, Phil? Can you see? You can see the cavity.
Yep.
And then when you close it, you put your rod in it. Then you would pour your lead in through here till it comes up to the top. Then you pull this out and you drop your sinkers out. Now you got to remember something about using a mold. You have to coat this rod with beeswax, or we use soap. That's the easiest thing I've found to use because we make an awful lot of sinkers. When I pull it out that mold before I ever dump the sinkers out, so I don't forget, I run it across my soap. All right, that's an old one. Now, this mold here is the one that we use mostly. This is the one Phil and I use the most. This mold's over 50 years old here, but it's made out of aluminum, and I want you to see it's set up that we can make cast three of the mullet net sinkers, and we can do what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow.
Hold it steady.
Yeah, we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shrimp nets. It's set up the same way. As you can see, you'll run your rod in, and you can pour the lead in your cavities. And so this is I don't know. I've had this mold a long time. But anyway, that's your sinker mold. Now, to show you the difference in the sinkers that's made from different molds that we have, I want to show you, that's a store-bought sinker there. Phil and I bought this for some reason. I don't remember. It's a long sinker. It's a heavy sinker. These are sold by a company in St. Augustine, Florida. Here it's called Marine Supply and Oil. You can find them. They have a website. They have different size mullet net sinkers. We bought this one. We had an idea of the way we wanted to use it, but we changed our mind, I think. But anyhow, this sinker here, the size of this sinker here would be one you'd probably want to use if you were making a row mullet net, let's say 1.25 inch mesh. You want something a little bit wider. Now, this is the sinker that this mold here makes. This is the one that Phil and I use right here. This is the mold that would go on. I'm going to show you the nets in a minute. Then here is the shrimp net sinker. This is a sinker that you should use on a shrimp net. Now, I want to show you different diameters. And what led me to do this video, I got to tell you, was Adrian, a buddy of mine that I've sold stuff to. He's finished. He started back in May. He bought a video back in early May from us on how to make a cast net. Believe it or not, now he has really applied himself because he's made a 10-foot shrimp net. And he wrote me wanting to know about sinkers. Where can he find shrimp net sinkers? And I had to give him the bad news. But the different types of lead line that we use, I use a 3/16 only on little 4-foot nets. I don't use it 5 foot and above. I use a 1/4 inch, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Now, well, I want to show you this was what led me. I got off my beaten path a bit, but I was doing some research and I run across a company, and I'm not going to mention their name. It's for you to find. But they were talking about what you needed. I usually don't say anything negative about somebody else's network unless it's grossly wrong. And for them to say that when you select a foot line, you had to buy a foot line that the diameter was an eighth of an inch smaller than the sinker. That is grossly wrong information. And I'm going to show you why here in a minute. This is a 1/4 inch hole. This is a 3/16 lead line, and you can see how sloppy that is. You see how these sinkers just freely slide up and down that? You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. All right, now here's a lead line that this is a lead line that Phil and I used. It's 1/4 inch solid braid nylon. These are the sinkers that come out of that mold right there. I want to show you see how nice that and snug that is.
Hold on.
Get a good picture of that, Phil.
Yeah, I'm coming in.
See how snug that fits on that lead line? That's what you really want to see on a handmade net. All right. Are we ready? Move
Yep.
on? Okay. Now, I'm going to show you the two different nets. This is a little 5-foot mullet net that I finished a while back. And Phil's going to get a good close-up.
Hold steady.
And I want you to see how snug these sinkers are on that lead line. How pretty that is. If you've got a panel net, go out and take a look at it, and you'll see the difference of what I'm talking about. And as you can see here, and the reason I'm against using too small of a lead line, because you have to sew it on. You have to sew this on, and we use a double. Make a double row. The last row on this net is a double row, and the sinkers are tied on with a double, with simply to call it a double row. It's the twine double as opposed to being single. As you can see how that ties right up against the opening on this sinker. Now, see, that can't slide around and cut this line. If you have too small of a diameter, and actually the 3/16 isn't that bad compared to these panel nets that you see where they're using, looks like a little 1/8 to me, and the sinker just flops and slides around. And one of the biggest issues that people contact me about, can you help me? My lead line's coming off my net, it's falling off the net, and I don't do any repair work at all. I don't have the time. I do nothing but make nets. I'm behind and cast nets as we speak. But anyway, so that's the importance of that sinker being tight. And we did, as you see, you used the right sinker for the right right net. You wouldn't want to put this little sinker here. You wouldn't want to use that sinker there on a mullet net.
Hold on.
What it does, it just throws you off all the way around in reference to getting the correct spacing where you get the correct amount of lead line on that net. Most of your store-bought nets, they don't put enough lead line on it. That's why when you spread it out on the ground, you look at the top and you got a wad up at the top that won't even open. But anyway, so you wouldn't want to use this sinker here. Now, this is the sinker here that as you can see, it's the same sinker that we use on our mullet nets. If I were going to make I've got a request for I don't want to fool with it, but I probably will end up having to do it. Someone called me and he wants an 11-foot Dacron 1¼ inch mesh row mullet net. Now, so I'm trying to. I hope he changes his mind, but that would be the sinker I would use there, most likely. Okay. Now, on the shrimp net side, this is a little net that Phil made and rigged here, and these are the shrimp net sinkers. You can see the smaller sinker. Look at the size of that mesh. You got a 5/8 mesh, and see how he's got these sinkers the correct you wouldn't want to use. And this is the problem. This is Adrian's dilemma. Adrian, you don't want to use a big old sinker in there like that. That means you have to stretch. You have to stretch these meshes out to accommodate that sinker squarely on that lead line like I showed you on the mullet net and this one. So it's really not a good idea to use a wrong sinker you need to use the right sinker for the right application. Now, my advice to Adrian, I told him I was going to do this video, so he'll probably look it up. I got to thinking to try to help him. The only thing I could think of would be to take a mullet net sinker and cut it in half. You could take and cut it in half. Bandsaw do it, hacksaw do it, slow, painstaking thing. But if you want to do it right, that's what I would suggest: is to take these long mullet net sinkers and cut them in half, clean them back up to use. However, you do what you like. What I'm telling you is, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that's the only way that you should do it. It's the way I do it, and the way I've been doing it for 70 years, is using the right sinker for the right application. People that you can find sinkers from, I went myself looking, trying to help Adrian, trying to find somebody that sold. I did find some shrimp net sinkers, real big, like, my goodness, 2 to an ounce. It's just really mind-boggling that you wouldn't want to use a sinker that. They were big around. They were small now. They were short in diameter, like this. They were a little bit bigger than this, but my goodness, they were at least twice as heavy or more. Now, and the price, I couldn't believe the price. I hope I didn't see that wrong, but I'm not going to call again, because these are the same people who's talking about using an eighth of an inch larger, smaller diameter foot line than the diameter of the sinker. It's like $140 for 50 sinkers. That's grossly unheard of, to me anyway. These sinkers here, this size sinker here, Memphis Net and Twine, where I buy all my twine from, ropes and twine. I make my own sinkers. But they do sell cast net sinkers, different sizes. They're probably the cheapest folks around. There are other folks out there. If you do some research, you'll find some other people that I like. Memphis Net and Twine. They're good people. You get service. In most cases, they ship the day you call and order. They have all the different twines. They don't sell Dacron, but they sell all the different nylons. And you want making a net, you want to use a bonded nylon, not the simple twist. Bonded nylon to not stay secure. And I don't know. I think I covered this. I can't ask you no question because this is a video. Be sure and look at our website. It's called Menorcan Magic. That's MENORCANMAGIC, one word, .com. And I think I got a picture there where I'm showing one picture where it shows a lead line like this, and I put a picture of a panel net, store-bought net that shows the lead line all hanging off of it. It was a net that I bought for throwing around orchard beds and rocks and stuff. I didn't care what happened to it. It probably didn't have 70 bucks in it. And anyway, when it arrived, I spread it out in the yard to see what it looked like, and as usual, didn't have enough lead line on it, and the lead line was all hanging off, poorly installed. They use a very small diameter line to tie it on with. So what I did, I come in the house, I got a pair of scissors, and I went down and I cut it off, and just had old plastic coated steel sinkers. I just threw all that stuff away and re-rigged the net and made a decent net out of it. So, I told you about the website. We do have a video on show you step by step how to make a cast net. We have several. Phil graciously has done several videos for me that we have on YouTube, showing different things that we do. And as I think is something I feel is important, I'll do one, because I thought this was, because Adrian was beside himself. He's got this 10-foot shrimp net that he's proud of it. He made, that's a lot of work, a 10-foot net. I just finished. I made an 8-foot a while back, and that's a handful, I can tell you, and a 6 and a 5 and a 4 and so on. But I'm working on a full foot now for somebody. But with all of this said, I don't know of anything else. You can call me. The numbers are on the website. My address, email address, everything's on the website. Prices on nets. I do sell nets But for whatever you do, if you're interested in that, please email me for quantities. I only have one 7-foot Decron net left, and I do have a full 5, 6, 7, and 8-foot nylon net available. Other than that, you please take care of yourself and stay safe through all of this that we're going through here. And until I do another video, take care and enjoy our stuff online. Thank you very much.